Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight, it is round 13 here of OSCA Series competition, and it's the final night of the regular season. And it's I didn't win the throwback contest, and I'm mad 126. And well, or at least be one driver that's happy about that who won the throwback competition. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I am Mike Goodman, along with me, Matt Bayuk, and of course, Carlos behind the scenes there, working his strings, naming the race, I'm assuming. And we got a lot on the line here tonight at Atlanta. The chase cut off before the playoffs begin, or the chase begins. And interesting, three guys going to be battling for six guys battling for the final three spots tonight. They'll be right now on the inside of the cutoff line. Kynan Jones, Austin Beers, Robert Hill Jr. On that outside, it's going to be Dustin Dewar, Kyle Carlson, and Nicholas Monticelli. And it should be pretty interesting how this will play out. Two halves. You see the standings. And Matthew, things can get pretty interesting here tonight, don't you think?
Absolutely. If there's one race I really wanted to come up in the booth and join you guys for this season, it was this one. It's Atlanta. It's hot, it's slick, it kills the tires, and it's the cutoff race before the chase. It's definitely going to be a fun one with guys trying to scratch their way up into that top 13 and some guys right on the edge of being knocked out trying to defend against those and make it into that postseason.
Yeah, we'll see if they get it done tonight. And if I'm seeing that correctly, are there cars on the road course right now? That's weird.
Little extra preparation, extracurriculars.
Yep, getting the job done there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And Atlanta, mile and a half. This is still the old style, as practice is finishing up. Before they went to the current reconfiguration, we've seen about a month or so, maybe a little more than a month ago now. I can't remember, but still run that old style. Like you said, it's slick. It's going to be crazy, and to see what drivers are going to handle it best. And I heard you got some thoughts on what guys have to do tonight to either get in the chase, stay in the chase, or just maybe even get through the night.
Oh, yes. What I asked every driver, almost every driver, as many as I could before the race, was given your playoff situation, what do you do going into tonight? And some guys are locked in, some guys are not locked in and fighting their way in, some guys don't have a chance, and some guys aren't even running for points, so the answers varied. If I could touch on a few specifically, actually, let me come up with the broadcast real quick and see who we're on. Excuse me.
Capiano right now.
Capiano, yeah, it was a little more regular for him. He said give it his best shot. He logged a lot of laps, and he's feeling pretty comfortable tonight. I'll touch more on laps logged later, but some of the more interesting ones that we had was Nicholas Monticelli. Monticelli being about 40 points out. His was probably one of the most exciting ones. He said being 40 points out, he's swinging for the fences tonight. He's going to take some huge risks, and I quote word for word, possibly some downright incorrect choices to expect strategies. Opposite strategies is interesting to me, because Atlanta, usually it's pretty clear cut and dry. You take tires, but we might see some crazy things tonight.
You never know, and especially for Monticelli's case, he's pushing those chips right to the center of the table. Sometimes, even though if you know it's going to be the wrong choice, or you're pretty sure it's going to be the wrong choice, you got to at least again swing for the fences and make that effort. And I'm sure we'll see Monticelli give it his best effort here tonight, as we do have qualifying underway right now. Early on qualifying, Dustin Dewar in the 32, who again is 24 points out behind Robert Hill Jr. So that's going to be interesting. Kyle Carlson, he's back up top. We've seen him get a pole earlier this year at Montreal in an 18 car. And we're talking about the throwback winner, Adam Tepe, in that 96, and Kenton going around there. You see that Baby Ruth Jeff Gordon scheme. They had that little tournament. I got to ask you, Carlos or Matthew, did you guys partake in the voting of that?
Oh, I did. Absolutely. I voted for every car. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I remember I specifically voted for that Jeff Gordon car.
Why specifically that one?
I just like it. It's a good car.
I do too. I did too, but I mean, me personally, I'm still a little mad. You know, the Dallas Myhan, Cole Trickle pink scheme, and never see
Oh man.
Vincent in a
Oh,
in a
oh no,
Haley
no, no.
Deegan car here
I
tonight.
remember voting for that one. It's not the only one I voted for. I feel like I would
No,
have voted
I
for
mean,
that one as well.
no, I get what you're saying, but I just some of the ones that like obviously it turns into either like a popularity contest or maybe even just different eras growing up, and I guess that Jeff Gordon Baby Ruth car was kind of my wheelhouse. There, it was probably about 5 or 6 years old when Gordon ran that car, but yeah, there were. I mean, a lot of those guys running those throwbacks. You'll probably see some out here yet tonight. They were a lot of beautiful cars out here. It's always a fun thing to do to see those throwbacks out here. As Tate Lytle now goes to the top of the leaderboard in that 56. He had a good one too. That Kevin Harvick Reese's Peanut Butter Cup
I'm
throwback.
surprised. I thought that one would go a little bit further. That was always a personal favorite of mine. I
Hi,
love the
Ned.
Reese's car. Huh?
Oh, kind of thinks he's at the road course here. I think that's where he's at. Taking an interesting choice. You see Damian Langer back in the 83. I think he might have been back last week. I know he missed one race. Was that last week? I can't remember, but Damian missed a race. He's back. Chad Thornquist in the 02. Trying to make his qualifying lap. So still a few guys yet to turn laps. Tate Lytle still holding on top of that leaderboard. Johnny Eckert in second right now. Austin Beers third. And Beers really making a charge. He was on the outside looking in after missing a few races for his Whelen Modified tour, and came back, made enough races or got a waiver to get eligible, and had to grind and muscle his way in. And he's still one of those bubble drivers that could lose it here tonight with a bad night, but the effort that he put in to be in a relatively safe position speaks for the driving talent of that number 19 Toyota. There's DJ Weeks getting done with his qualifying run. And qualifying is set. Tate Lytle on the pole, again with Eckert, Beers, Thornquist, and David Westergreen rounding out the top 5. Then you see the starting order here for tonight. You see Blake Barney filling in for Zishan in that 10 car. And as we go through the field, I think it's time for picks, and we got to get Matthew his pick in before we call it rigged.
Oh yeah, we can't have any of that this week. Oh man, I could go with the obvious. There's no obvious choice, especially with the way today's gonna go. I'm gonna make my pick. Actually, I'm taking the 98 of Zach Roethlisberger. He qualified down there in 8th, and obviously it's a decent lap, not a spectacularly fast lap. But what I did when I joined up in the session here was I went through the practice times and the practice laps, and I noticed that he had ran the most laps of anyone in this session. He had ran 70 laps and 2 20-lap runs, and there were 5 other guys that ran about 20-lap runs, and that's the furthest anybody seemed to practice on tires. But I think he's going to be really good on the long runs because he seems to be really dialed in for that.
Yeah, he was looking pretty stout in practice. Carlos, I'm going to make you say it, even though he's not in the field. You pick him every time, but who's going to win it?
Oh, dude, today I'm actually going to go with a wild card. I'm going to go ahead and choose Peter Short to win tonight's race.
What?
What?
Well,
wow. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go with.
Are we not choosing Father of the Year?
What we're gonna do is, or what I forgot to do was mention we have 2 43 lap halves. And the fuel run is right around that 37 to 40 lap window. So you see if someone can maybe save on fuel. And that leads me for this first half, when people don't quite have it figured out, usually who does it first? It's going to be that 90 of Johnny Eckert that gets it done here in half number 1.
I hate to bust your balls. It's actually 41 laps.
Yeah.
41 laps. Okay, yeah, never mind. My bad. It was 41. But yeah, you can go about 37 to 40 laps. My bad.
We have a situation on the. Oh nope, he's going. Okay.
Okay, was that Blake Barney? I believe in the 10.
Yeah, he's awake.
Issues. That will happen
We
sometimes.
have somebody
maybe even
falling asleep behind the wheel.
Oh, can't do that. There, see the field trying to catch up after Blake Barney's little mishap there. You see the field catching up to the pace car. We're going to get ready to go here at Atlanta. We have 41 laps. Top 10 will invert. Keep a note of that. We'll try to do our best to kind of keep an eye on those guys that are battling for that chase spot, or I was gonna say playoff. I keep saying chase playoff. I'll probably say both. I probably still call them trucks once in a while. It happens. But then we see Tate back in his normal throwback of the Cale Yarborough.
Oh, it's good looking.
Yeah, that's a beautiful car. And ooh, lights are back on. We're gonna have one more lap. Must have been something still to do.
Oh no, I think it.
Oh.
Zach Roethlisberger parked it on the apron and he has pulled it onto pit road.
That's odd.
Oh man, something happened, I believe, with Roethlisberger. Yeah, he pulled it on the apron and
he said it blew up.
It blew up. Wow.
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 Can I change my pick?
Yeah, you got to do it quick. You got to do it quick.
No, it's locked in. Too late.
No, there is no too late. I'm Nick and Delicato.
Oh, he's going with Nick, and he's always quick, starting in the 5th spot. And hey, Matthew, I think you can pick whenever you want. You picked it a couple times, like after the race was done.
Hey, I know in my heart I had it down. Okay.
As long as you can sleep at night, I think that's the main thing.
I sleep well at night. That's all that matters.
Here's the replay.
Here we got a replay of what happened.
No, you don't usually have replays before the green flag drops.
Yeah, this is not good, and
he just shifted down,
and it just died. Interesting. So he's trying to get on the apron, and of course, a couple of cars may get involved. Maybe even that 27 of Nicholas Monticelli. But with all that going on, Pace Truck's going to get ready to dive down pit road. Well, it looks like got a little air there too. And green flags out. Tate Lytle leading the charge on the inside line. Gets a pretty good half a car length jump. Should get the inside line here going into turn 1, and he does. And we are underway. On the outside, Johnny Eckert trying to make that charge. He's taking a look at the lead. Here he goes. Can he make it stick? And he will. Johnny Eckert in his throwback, second runner-up in the throwback contest, but right now leading the way here as we complete lap number 1.
Thank you. Thank you for that. As soon as you said that, I felt my lip touch it. I was like, oh, that's not right.
Matthew's pretending he's the NASCAR crew chief, getting your mouth right on the mic.
Oh yeah.
There. Sometimes I just do it just to feel like I'm a crew chief.
Oh, we're gonna see a lot of, speaking of crew chief stuff, if these guys had him, they'd be hearing a lot of saving tires early on. Some guys, I don't know. Blake Barney's not wasting any time. He's going around the outside, passing guys left and right. He's up to 3rd. I don't know how long he's gonna keep it up there, because certainly that's not good.
He did try diving on the inside, and Schumann on the apron. I don't know if he started in the pits or what the story was there. But yeah, you see guys, even like Austin Beers, another one, never shy of giving it 100%, even when it's time to save tires. Right now holding on to that 4th spot. And there you see Dustin Dewar, one of the Chafe cutoff guys, battling Kyle Carlson for that 9th spot. But again, got to save those tires. You got to put, guys like Dewar, guys like kind of Jones, Beers, they got to put themselves in position. Make sure they stay Robert Hill Jr. right on that cutoff line as well. Got to make sure. And, they make it there at the end. Carlson is, another one in that battle as well. And Nicholas Monticelli, with those little issues on the pace laps, currently scored 22nd.
Yeah, as you were talking about the guys around this cut line, the first thing I noticed is Dewar, Carlson, Beers, and even Kynan is a lot more towards the front. Robert Hill Jr. is mired back in 28th. I'm not really sure if he's struggling or just not pushing the issue, but it's a dangerous game he's playing with a lot of his competitors racing around the front. You have to hope it works out for him in the longer run.
Yeah, maybe with the strategy he's going, I didn't get quite to look at what he ran in practice, but maybe didn't quite have the pace, so just going total tire save mode. And you see how hard Dewar and Carlson were battling for that 9th spot just a minute ago. If they burn up their tires, that could put Robert Hill Jr. in pretty good shape once the tires wear out a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of these guys around up at the front. They're moving around a little bit more if they're battling. The 05 car, he's not pushing it, but it's only 41 laps a half. You can only hold back for so long before it's time to go. And this one's going green so far, so you never know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how it plays out right now. There we see that 26 back in the regular pink scheme. And, you got to explain this a little more. I don't know if they're running it here, about your Shift Esports team running the different colored numbers. I noticed that OSCA, are they doing that here? Ooh, Carlson on track.
So with the 29 car, that car actually hasn't been pink all season. That's kind of like our team car. Whoever we want can run that one. I think our cars are different enough in OSCA. I mean, Nick and Delicado's is pretty obviously almost entirely pink. Roberts is almost entirely white. I think they're different enough. I guess Dallas's could be a little different, but in OSCA, they were pretty close to identical, so we had to make some changes. I think we've got enough variation here to not have any complaints. I don't know. You haven't had too hard of a time, have you? I mean, tell me if you have.
I actually never really did. I think the only time, maybe sometimes, Carlson in the wall. Oh. And he's going to drop back quite a few spots. He was battling up around that 8th position. He's going to drop all the way back to 13th. And that could be a heavy blow. If he's even got a little damage, that could hurt, maybe make that car push and wear out that right front tire more. Man. And again, being a guy on that cutoff line, that could be huge implications there.
Yeah, looking back at it, his left rear touched with, you're looking at it right here on the replay. Westergreen's going to wash up here, and the slightest of contact, it sends him sliding through that dog leg, and he pancakes the wall pretty good here, trying to keep control of it, which he does fairly well, but you're kind of along for the ride if you're losing it up there.
Yeah, and right on that dog leg, gets into the wall a little bit, loses a lot of that momentum. Let's see if Carlson can rebound after that little mishap. Right now, Johnny Eckert still holding on to that lead as we are 10 laps in. And, it's early going. We're, just completing now lap 10. You see Tate Lytle go to the outside, taking that lead over Johnny Eckert. You wonder, guys like Johnny, are they starting to save fuel? Because right now it's looking like a green flag race so far.
Yeah, in the wall. He's in the wall there. Oh, keeps it straight. He actually still pulls away from Beers somehow. Kept his foot in it, I guess. About saving fuel, I guess so. I mean, I think it seems with Atlanta, with the tires get so bad, it's so hard to race around each other. After we get about 10 laps under our belts, you already see guys kind of fishtailing it down the backstretch. So just by virtue of trying to not spin themselves out, they're not racing each other all that much. You can see it is fairly spread out. There's cars in multiple lanes, but they're not that much on top of each other. So I think for sure we're going to have some tire saving and fuel saving big time. Yeah.
And Atlanta could be one of those tracks, talk about being spread out. I think we were talking about this at Rockingham last week as well. Again, being one of those rubber band tracks, your field might spread apart a little bit, get single file, but those different strategies of how hard you run, and you could end up having at least a good, exciting finish at the end. But right now, I got to wonder if Johnny's saving something, leading those first 10 laps. Now with Tate Lytle pulling away by almost 0.8 of a second. As you see Austin Beers making that move for third or second.
Absolutely, you do burn a little bit more fuel being out front without any drafts to kind of catch the wake of. So it's very possible he's taking caution here and saving a little bit. Beers is not. Maybe Beers saved his stuff a little early. I don't know. He's going for it now.
He's in send it mode now, moving into that second spot. And speaking of cautions, Vic was sending me a little bit of stats. I'm feeling like I'm you right now, Matthew, reading these stats. But so far in the 2022 season, on 1.5 mile ovals, they've averaged about 3.67 cautions total. So, and then the first half is 1.5. The second half, I'm sorry. The first half is 1.67, and in half 2, it's 2 cautions per half. And right now, things are looking good until we get a 3 wide
Hang
situation.
on! Don't jinx it!
Wow, yeah, I might have just announcer jinxed that one pretty bad. Beer's able to hang on, and now Chad Thornquist moves in that second spot.
Yeah,
And
Thornquist. Oh. Oh boy.
As Indelcato, he's starting to light that that go switch on that number 7 Mohawk Foundation Ford. Shoot to the outside right now of Chad Thornquist. Let's see if he can get that run.
I think he will. Ooh, Chad. He's gonna give it. Oh, okay, good. He gave him the lane. Looked a little scary for a second.
Yeah, it looked like he was sliding out of that corner. You're just talking about the grip and, you know, being 16 laps in. See how much grip's already lost for a lot of these drivers out on the racetrack.
Now, I can't speak for how well Tate's done it, but I know I've ran countless league races at this point in the same voice channel with Indelcato, and it wouldn't be a league race with him if he doesn't complain about people pushing in the first 20 laps of a race, because he's always trying to save his tires early, and you can see very much so he's done that here. But there are guys like Tate Lytle that can be immune to saving tires. There's always a few guys that can push and still be fast, and Austin Beers and Tate Lytle, they just got that gene in them where they can do both. And unsurprisingly, these are the guys that you see up at the front early on here.
Early on, and you think, man, they're burning up, they can't hold on, and we've seen Tate do that even last week at Rockingham at a track that's pretty similarly harsh on tires. Get the job done. Actually pulled a sweep last week as well. As Indelcato pulling away now from Thornquist a little bit. Just a note too, right now we were talking about the chase cutoff. Dustin Dewar, that first guy 24 points back, riding in 10th at the moment, and Robert Hill Jr. riding back in 27th. You're saying how far back he was in traffic, and that would be a pretty big cut in that lead, about 17 points. Yeah, that would make it 7 going to half 2 if the race were to end right now. So again, a lot can happen between now and then, but if Robert Hill wants to feel a little safer going to half 2, he's going to have to maybe turn that wick up a little bit here.
The good thing for Robert is he's got a lot of race cars in front of him. Perhaps the most congested part of the field right now is about 17th through 25th. If he's been saving tires, then he could be in a position to pass a lot of cars right now, but that's if he's been doing a good job saving.
We'll see how this race plays out. 22 laps to go, and again, maybe Robert Hill playing that saving fuel game as well. Again, we're right on
Very
that
possible.
bubble.
Very possible.
And could be playing that wise. Oh, we see a car on the apron, Adam Peeler in the 07.
That's Dustin Dewar's coming to pit road right now, actually.
Wow, pitting early, maybe short pitting, cutting maybe the stage here in half, coming down pit road. So this might be his kind of aggressive strategy to get those tires, thinking he's not going to make it till the end. Well, now he will after making this pit stop. I see Peeler coming down pit road as well. So these are some of the guys maybe rolling the dice here a little bit, calling their shot.
Yeah, we got some more guys. We got a couple more dropping off the racetrack right now.
Thornquist coming down pit road as well.
And this is huge.
Like
they're almost 2 seconds a lap slower than they were just 20 laps ago right now. These guys coming into pit road going to be gaining a lot of ground from this. Oh, Dewar has spun coming off pit road.
Oh no, Dustin Dewar, man, trying to make those spots up, pitting short, but spinning off of pit road. That could definitely hurt him.
Oh, he nosed it into the inside wall a little bit. There's some damage there, but just the ground lost. That's going to hurt. He had a big cushion there to Robert Hill, or a big cushion in this race, that is. He was going to gain some points.
So that cushion could be either totally evaporated after that or very much disintegrated indeed as we continue on the racetrack. Tate Lytle leading, but Indelcato closing in, and then we see a battle here between Damian Langer and Adam Tepe again. The throwback winner in that 96 Baby Ruth car, driven by Jeff Gordon. go take
Here's
a
the
look at the
replay.
replay. Yeah, what happened to Dewar?
Oh,
Again,
wow.
ooh,
Too
just
much beans.
like too much
Too
beans
much
there.
beans. Oh, Western Green spinning coming into pit road.
Oh no, man, these the sad racing team having issues on pit road early on here in the going. Able to gather it back up. Yep, too much beans for both of them.
Man.
Thanks, Dusty and Dave, for making Carlos play that GIF. But that's the thing, especially for Dusty. He was probably trying to get everything you can, and again, I think it was Jeff Gordon that said it. That I think he was always accused of maybe driving a little bit too slow on pit road at later portions of his career, and he said, you can lose very little by playing it conservative on pit road entry or pit road exit, but you can lose a lot more. And there we just seen Westergreen and Dewar just right on that razor's edge going over, and that's going to hurt their race here in half one just a little bit.
Yeah, and especially for Dewar. I mean, the season's long, and there's a lot of things that happen throughout the season, a lot of things you can point the finger at. But in the situations like this, where you know exactly what you need and you know exactly what you don't need to happen, it'll burn in his mind a little bit, at least until next season. If he doesn't make this playoffs at the end of tonight, he's gonna look back at that and know that that was the moment he could have thrown it away, because those things hurt, because you know exactly what can't happen, and when they happen, it hurts.
Yeah, it's those things that'll keep you up at night, keep you thinking about what little things could have been different to put you in a better position. Yeah, and being right here down on the wire, there we see Rashid Coles making his pit stop. Tepe, ooh, a lot of smoke from Chris Jordan. Looks like he got it woed up just in time as well. So a lot of guys having issues on pit road entry.
I am convinced that there are guys going for the no-stop strategy. Robert Hill and a lot of guys still on the racetrack. You can't gain anything from staying out late and pitting from 27th.
Oh,
Guys
Tate!
like, oh no! Our race leader!
Spinning on pit road. A little bit too much rear brake.
Or beans.
Or beans, yeah, coming onto pit road. There we go again. And now that's part of that Depression Racing Network, still just having problems down pit road. See 3 cars now having trouble, so that might lead guys to trying to save it, try to push it, see if they can make it to the final lap. 14 laps to go as we see Indelcado, Beers, Rally, and Rogers coming down pit road as well right now.
Oh man, they were wiggling in there. They made it though.
And we see that gives the lead to Johnny Eck. Oh!
Oh!
Getting in the wall right in front of Osborne. Osborne getting in the grass, able to save it. Woo! A lot of stuff going on the racetrack right now. It's getting wild here.
Yeah, the fun part is when those old tires are still on track and the fresh tires are on track, and even when those old tires pit, the tires that pit 10 laps ago are now old tires. It gets crazy here in Atlanta with the tires.
Yeah. And with that, Vincent Isabella shooting to the outside. I think Johnny right now is in save mode as he falls back into second once again. And again, a lot of different strategies trying to stay out of the way. 12 laps to go. But now it's that balance of all these different strategies on tires. And usually you want to let people go by if they're on fresher tires or race them clean. But we're here in go time right now.
Oh yeah, it's go time. We're in the final 10 laps. Whether you're racing to make it into the playoffs or you're racing for the win, everybody's pushing, unless you have to save fuel. Which, listening to Johnny Eckert, I think he might be saving fuel. I'm looking at his speed. He is creeping up ever so slowly.
Oh, he's cutting it off.
Yeah.
Cutting it off here in the corners, coasting into the corners, trying to save as much fuel as he can. On that bubble, we've seen him do it so many times before, right here on 3Y TV. Now he's fallen back to third. David Carpenter, and another guy trying to save it on fuel.
Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say Monticelli running at 6. He's having that same strategy, talking about rolling the dice. Right now, he's gonna try to roll the dice and stay out on the racetrack here as we now with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about.
What's that?
He's not turning off his engine.
Oh, he's not. So we'll see if he can make it. That's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if we lost Matthew there.
No, we're good.
Oh.
Yeah, there are some guys crawling around this racetrack at a pace. They're running 37-second lap times. I'm surprised by it. I don't know if it'll work out there, but one thing I was gonna say is it's also tires at this point. I mean, I know obviously yes, tires at Atlanta, but I noticed all the longest green flag runs in practice were about 20 laps. We are 30 laps into this set. As far as the track conditions today, we are in no man's land. So all these guys that are still out on track that haven't taken tires, they are all in really, really bad conditions. They haven't ran this far on a set today.
Yeah, uncharted territory so far. Everyone able to hang on, keep it under pace. But again, a lot of guys with fresh tires around him. You see Johnny Eckert surrendering more spots to Adam Peeler. Ray Bracey, who've already came down pit road. Let's see if he can hang on. Currently running in third. Damian Langer, I think, maybe catching him just a little bit as well. There you see Monticelli in that sixth spot.
Do we have the first car on fresh tires? Would it be in Delicado?
I think
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Roethlisberger.
In that ninth position. Ooh, you see him? He is
Actually,
giving it everything he got.
it's Sternquist.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because he pitted right behind Dewar, and Dewar, with that spin, probably would have been right around, that 13th or so spot, currently running 24th after nosing into the inside wall on pit exit. And again, Robert Hill Jr. and how this kind of flip-flopped here with that incident. Robert Hill running in the 13th spot at the moment, still yet to make a pit stop. But, I think at the very worst, even if we do see Robert Hill come down pit road with that shortcoming from Dusty, we might see it come up maybe as a wash here in half number one.
Man, Dusty might get lucky. Robert is maxing out at 155 on the straights. He is limping around this racetrack about 4.5 seconds off the pace. I don't think he thinks, maybe he doesn't think he's saved enough early, but I don't know if this is going to work for him. We might see him fall pretty close to Dusty as far as position-wise, as I believe Vincent Isabella has just made the call that he's coming to pit road.
Yeah, kind of late here with now 6 laps, coming to 5 to go as he's making his pit stop.
Oh!
Ooh, and he almost loses it going to the pits. They'll give the lead to Dave Carpenter. Johnny Eckert second, and Monticelli moves into that third position. Now as Leininger comes down pit road as well, I do believe. Or he at least dropped a couple spots. So Monticelli, a guy who, again, said he was swinging for the fences. Here he is in the top 3 at the moment, doing everything he has to do. But the question is, has he saved enough fuel?
Man, it's always exciting to see the guys who call it. They say, we're going to go crazy with it. We're going to try something. And it could work. I mean, the points gain for him, he's running 4th, not necessarily losing ground. And Robert Hill is 17th now, still losing ground, trying to make it to the end. We might see still yet a big swing in points. It just might not come from Dewar, at least not in this half.
Yeah, we're yet to see. Again, Dewar in 23rd, Hill in 16th, and Monticelli in 3rd. And don't forget about Carlson, who got into that little
Carpenter
up
pit
on
road.
the front straightaway.
Carpenter's pitting.
Carpenter's pitting. That will surrender now the lead to Johnny Eckert. Can he hang on? Did he save enough fuel? He was shutting the motor off there.
Oh, man, it is.
Get it done. Monticelli, I hear coming down pit road. So he did not save enough fuel. Just a few laps short. Coming to 2 to go. There you see Vincent Isabella unlapping himself. Currently running in that 24 spot. Try to hang on as long as he can. You see the guys haven't pitted yet. Top 5 is now in Delgado, moves into 5th, and he's looking at how far he's back. He could he's 6 seconds back from Johnny Eckert. So Johnny's better hope he saved enough fuel.
Brent Jones is about to pass Johnny Eckert.
Oh boy, this could be a battle here for the lead. Did Brent save enough fuel here with 2 laps to go?
We haven't talked about Brent all race long. Oh, never mind. He just called out pitting.
Pitting with 2 to go, just short, catching the leader. Trying to gain as much time as he can, but coming to the white flag lap this time by as you see Brent Jones come down. Johnny Eckert's coming down pit road.
Man, that's gonna give the lead to DJ Weeks in the 97.
And now the question is, can he hang on and hold off the 7 of Indel Kato, who has
just
come
a
down pit
second
road?
behind. Oh
And
man, this is gonna be good.
He is closing in fast, as now it's already almost a half a second coming out of turn 2. And this could be a battle. He's almost gonna have to throw a block here going into turn 3. I don't know if he's gonna be able to hold him off. Coming out of turn 4, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be the 97 or the 7? Coming out of 4.
He's out of fuel.
Indel Kato wins it across the line. Weeks running out of fuel, able to coast to a second place run. Thornquist third, Beers fourth, and Rally fifth. Rogers sixth, Lytle seventh, Barney eighth, Adam Tepe ninth. Let's see if Roethlisberger crosses the line to round out your top 10.
Being told Monticelli had an issue, he spun out.
And he spun. Man, what a rough. Looking good. And again, just the way that flipped for a lot of these drivers, especially in those closing laps. Let's see what happened to Monticelli here as well. Oh, gets on the apron. I don't know if he lost a whole lot of track position from that, as he did come home in the 26th position. Again, those guys that were on the outside, Monticelli, 26th there. I didn't see where Carpenter finished. Kind of missed that one.
Carpenter 21st, Dewar 19th.
Not Carpenter. I'm sorry.
Dewar?
Carlson.
Oh.
Carlson. He finished 2 laps down in 33rd. Yeah, Dewar 19th, and Robert Hill Jr.
Wow. It worked
came
for Robert.
home in 12th. Yeah, and that's going to be huge. Gaining even those few points, it's going to be a tall order here with only 35 cars. So Dewar is going to be a guy who has to really swing for the fences in round 2, and that might just about eliminate guys like Monticelli and Carlson here in half number 2.
I do believe mathematically, I don't think they can gain that many points. I believe 30 points. I believe 33 points is the most, including bonus points you can earn in a half. Robert Hill finishing 12th. Let's see. He's gained 7 points on Dewar. So Dewar, it's a slim possibility. Dewar can still make it.
Yeah,
but
he's got to really swing for the fences here and see how aggressive he can be. And all just because of that little slip up off pit road.
Yeah.
And we do have Nick Indel Kato here, half number 1 winner. And Nick, you decided to hit pit road, try not to stretch it on fuel, and you're able to get it done. How was the race out there? It seemed like a lot of different strategies out there tonight.
Yeah, man. When you can get a green flag race like that, it's always fun, and it's even better to come out on top. Me and Tate were the fastest there, I think, on the long run. Obviously, I found a lane at the top, which was so weird, and I thought, let's try it. So the middle top started working. I caught him from maybe a second behind, and then he pitted. I heard somebody say he spun, so I think he would have had me at the end there if he kept everything clean. But after that, I came in the lap after, had a clean pit stop, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I got into my pit box, turned everything off, all my HUDs off, and I just said to myself, all right, I'm muting Discord, I'm just gonna drive. So I didn't know that DJ was the leader until my communicating robot spotter told me, and I'm like, oh. So that was a pretty cool finish. Shout out to DJ for having that run, and it was a fun race.
Yeah, and for DJ, he's got to wonder if he just had maybe just a little splash of fuel left in that tank, maybe could have held you off, but you were coming pretty hard there. Well, it seemed pretty inevitable that you were going to sneak by and get that win.
Yeah, no, I was pushing as hard as I could, and to be honest with you, I felt so good at the end of that race. DJ did a good job. I think I would have had him if he didn't run out of fuel anyway. It would have been way closer for sure.
I
but
think
I
you
respect
had
him for not, for getting in front of me. But it was overall an insane good race.
So, now that people seeing the winning strategy, do you expect to maybe mix it up a little bit, or you're going to kind of keep it towards the same in half number 2?
I mean, hopefully we can run that back. I mean, I'd love to get 2 wins tonight. But I think that, this is going to ramp up even more in the second half. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a yellow or 2 or 3, 4 or 5. So we'll see. Starting 5th, I started 6th the first race, so nothing we haven't done before.
Yes, indeed. We've seen you pull off many victories from anywhere in the field, coming up all the way from the back. But before we send you off here for half number 2, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to Shift Esports once again. The team all pink. You see us every week, along with the Mohawk Foundation. They're a great organization. Go check them out on Twitter, and go check out SR Design on Twitter if you need a paint scheme.
You know, at first I just got to say I actually thought it was my hand that was passing for the lead. I'm kidding. You guys don't have
match. We all match.
You guys don't have the numbers this week. I was poking fun. I thought it was funny you guys did that. That's pretty cool.
Maybe we'll have to switch it over to here too.
No, it's not that bad. I'm just teasing you. But best of luck to you in half number 2, and we start from 10th. Go get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, my pick one.
And your pick 1, and you actually picked it before the well.
Yeah, that's right.
Your second pick.
Oh, man. I have to point something out before. In all seriousness, though, I'm going to point something out before we start here. Kian M. Raleigh. Now, remember Zach Roethlisberger losing an engine before the first race even started. Kian and Damian and Weeks, they all received damage from that stack up. They ran into each other. Kian started 12th, drove his way up to 5th before the pit stop started, and ultimately finished 5th. He is now on pole with 0 cars to pass and 0 damage. I'm not saying, oh yeah, Kian's going to win, but he's definitely someone to watch here because he's in a much better situation.
Yeah,
we're making picks for this?
Oh yeah, we got
fresh
to.
race.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Fresh race. Let's do it again. As top
Kian.
5 inverting in this race. You're going Kian. Yeah, he's called a shot. I'm gonna go with. They got a race under their belt now here in half number 2. They saw what they had to do to get done. I'm gonna go with that 0-2 of Chad Thornquist, and he's gonna get it done here in half number 2.
okay,
Carlos, who do you got?
Yeah, Monticelli is going to get this win after realizing he should have actually saved more fuel.
Ooh, like it. So we do have Austin Beers, an interview waiting. I'm not sure why he's in here. We'll get him quick before we go green. Beers, do you have anything to say quick before we go green?
I'm in the playoffs, baby. Woo!
He clinched it. He did clinch it.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Thank you, Austin. Man.
Hey, you
Hey, did the work in the first half. Now he gets to go out and have fun in the second half.
Yeah, and that could make things interesting indeed. I'm gonna change my pick like you did. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna stick with.
Man.
Oh, Vic,
Hey,
Vic
Austin Beers didn't lose an engine.
Hey, guys, Vic put out saying Austin Beers and Kinda Joe's are locked into the chase. Also, Monticelli and Carlson are officially locked out.
Oh, it comes down to Hill and Dewar.
So and that kind of goes back to, and it's going to be an uphill battle, and that's no pun intended for.
Not only that,
Dustin
Dewar needs to win to get ahead of Hill.
Yep.
Yeah, and he almost needs Hill to have a bad race too. It doesn't.
I'm gonna go out and say Hill probably needs to crash because I think if Robert finishes top 26, it's
Are you
that's
telling
all
me
she
you
wrote
want
for
him to
Dewar
crash?
season. Considering Robert Hill is actually on my team, no.
Chase truck is off. Keen's going to lead him to the green flag here in at number 75, bringing home 5th in stage 1. What can he do here in stage 2? We're about to find out. As him and Austin Beers neck and neck going down into turn 1. Oh, they're both driving hard, almost making contact. And there you see Keen pulling on the inside. He's going to get by the 19, and right now it looks like you got to wonder if that fuel saving strategy didn't work for a lot of these drivers. It looks like that aggression level has ramped up on lap 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, Weeks almost made it work. That was very, very impressive, but a lot of things have to go right for that to work. I think you're going to see pushing here for sure. And if you're going to see fuel saving, it's not going to start until we get some laps under our belt, and it's probably not going to be any of these guys up in the top 5. Because you saw when Delgado pitted from about 2nd, well, basically the lead after Tate spun, and he was able to snag that win. It's just not likely anybody's going to be able to do what Weeks did in the first half, so I don't think we're going to see the same saving strategy.
And you got to wonder, guys like Dustin Dewar, he has moved up a couple spots in the 17th position. If a guy for him, maybe try to save, see if he can get that, sneak out a victory, because that's about his only chance to get into the playoffs. Does he try to save fuel and make it the whole way? We've seen how hard it was to do. We've seen even Johnny Ecker cutting off that engine and still not being able to make it, having to pit under that. Oh, halfway. Oh, boy.
Oh!
Didn't quite make out who that was getting on the apron. Carlson in the 18. And again, being locked out of the playoffs right now, you got to think, you know, guys like Carlson, Monticelli, you know, hey, they got to swing for the fences no matter what. Oh!
This changes
Caution
everything.
is out, and that does.
No more fuel strategy.
Fuel strategy out the window, and now it could be turned into a pure tire-saving event here.
It's going to come down to just tires, and I was going to point out Robert Hill dropped back to 20th. I was watching him and Dewar, and Robert Hill was saving all the way. That really would have put Dustin in a box, because Dustin, it's hard to win from where he was track position-wise, and if he saves fuel, he'll just be right where Robert is. So this caution, I'm going to go ahead and say, is actually saves Dustin big time, because Robert was going to do what he did the first race, limp around, finish 10th to 15th, and that would have been just enough for Robert to make it in. So this gives Dustin a chance, and it basically ruins Robert's chances of being able to save fuel.
Yeah, you know, Robert Hill's still pretty good spot to lock himself in.
Oh, for sure.
We'll continue to see how that drama plays out there. You see the replay of the accident. It looks like Caviano did come up a little bit, just tight racing quarters here early on in the going.
Everybody did a pretty good job not hitting anything, though. I think the only contact was the contact that caused the spin here.
Yeah, I think once it kind of went 3 wide, you see my hand down on the bottom, and maybe tried to avoid that car, maybe overcompensated a little bit.
Everyone's down pit road.
No, not everyone. We've got one, and you can see who it is.
Dustin Dewar staying out on the racetrack. Again, you know, in a position, oh man, that was close there for Schumann. And that 24 car able to get by and dodge that wreck. But Dewar, it's again rolling the dice. Got to put it all on the line. Got to lead laps. And right now,
hey,
being scored your leader.
He does get a bonus point for leading the lap.
So you wonder if he's gonna pit next time by. Is he rolling off pit road in the first car that pitted? He'll be in second. Blake Barney third. Thornquist fourth. Vincent Isabella fifth. And there is the lone gunman up front, staying out on those tires. And you know, only a couple of green flag laps, but here in Atlanta, that could be a lot.
Oh, for sure. And I think the intent here is probably just going to be get off cycle, because the way things work is they've only got, oh man, I can't remember. How many tire sets do they get in OSCA? Either of you remember?
Is that in the
I got the rulebook
notes?
here.
Is it 3, 2, 3?
Gonna go through the rule book here. General race day info. Well, that led me to the very end of the rule book, so that did not help me. Here we go. Tire limit. 2 additional sets per half. So, Dustin has 2 sets. Everybody else has 1 set. If we get a caution here in about 5-10 laps, I don't think we're gonna see everybody else take their set. But you could see Dustin take his set. It's a gamble, but it would put Dustin on fresher tires than the entire field. It's a gamble for sure either way, but getting off cycle here is probably his only chance, the way things went for him in the first half.
Yeah, again, it's something he has to do to try to get into the playoffs. You see the field doubling up, getting ready to go to green flag racing, and this could be an interesting thing to see how quickly the rest of the field can get by him, and if the field doesn't stack up, we get another caution. So we'll see how this unfolds here in half number 2 of the I didn't win the throwback contest in a mat. Is that correct, Carlos? 126.
It wouldn't be funny if we didn't make it impossible for you to say.
I know, he always loves doing that.
Initially, I was gonna do something in Spanish because it's Cinco de Mayo, but it's not a real holiday, so.
What?
It's a fake holiday created by a beer company.
Whoa!
Dewar spins the tires on the restart. Keane's going to get a good run after they hit the stripe, so Dewar able to hold on to the lead in the meantime. But here they come. Fresh tires behind them. The 32, the only one staying out on a little bit older tires, pushes up the track a little bit. Looks like Keane's going to get that lead on the outside.
Yeah, Dustin's going to be hanging on for dear life. He knows he's not going to be able to keep it up front, and there's the caution.
No, I'm stupid.
No, we're okay.
Oh, I thought I saw something yellow up there too.
No, it was. It just It doesn't update if the ticker is hidden, so I forgot to refresh it and put it up before it went green flag, so it showed caution for a little bit.
And as you said, Dewar, though, on those old tires right now, still hanging on to that second spot, barely over Blake Barney, but still doing everything he can to stay at least in that top 5 and maybe put himself in position if we do get a quick yellow, as Beers looks to the inside of that 32 coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, he's just got to hold. He knows he's not going to be able to stay up there in the top 5. As the run progresses, he's always going to be on the older tires. He's going to slowly drop back through the field. But the more he can hold up the rest of the field and race them, the better it's going to work out no matter what happens for him.
There you see Dustin. You see the sweat dripping down his eyebrow there as he's trying to hang on.
He's doing a good job. He's hanging in there.
In that 4th spot. As Kean still holding on to that lead, but here comes Blake Barney in that 10 to the outside. And, you know, here's the other thing, too, that, you know, for the rest of the field, you know, I don't know how hard Dustin's pushing his car right now, but, you know, if it goes green the rest of the way, granted, they should make it on fuel, but you don't want to burn up your tires if even if you did come down pit road.
The only person I'd worry about making it on fuel is Dustin. I'm hoping he was mindful of that and clutched and coasted a bit under caution. I think if he stayed under caution, he should be good. But you are correct, sir.
Yeah, just saving those tires. He's still holding on to that 5th spot. We see some battles going on here through the rest of the pack. Dallas Myhan and Zach Evans back for the 18th position. As we see also Johnny Eckert.
Sorry, it's not on the screen right now. Barney almost caused the accident up at the front. He bounced off the wall, was able to keep it off Beers. They're all okay.
And Barney falls back to 3rd. Beers takes over that top spot. Again, we heard his celebratory comments as they were rolling on the pace lap here for half number 2. He knows he's in. He's going to go for that win to close out the regular season. We'll see who can get it done here as we're on lap 13 of 41, as we still are watching that battle for 18th between Evans and Myhan as we move up now. Dewar still holding on to that top 5 spot, maybe not for long, but again, you know, we've been green flag racing for a couple laps here, and still doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, we've definitely had some moments. You can see guys are being more aggressive this half than they were in the first half for sure. But again, it's the way Atlanta. It's these tracks where you race the track. You think it's out of control. It's slick. Guys gonna be crashing. It's because of the way they race the track more than they race each other. You know, it's not as much. They have total control of their car. They can put it anywhere they want. They got to go where the track wants them to go.
Yeah, and right now, you see Barney in that 10. You know, he's made a few starts this season. He's trying to get everything he can. He's out here to try to get that checkered flag out here tonight. He's still holding on to that 3rd spot, barely over Chad Thornquist at the moment. And there we see the 29 of Zach Rogers, currently in 11th, trying to work his way into the top 10. He does that as Osborne. It looked like he got maybe a little loose coming out of the corner. He dropped a couple spots, and they'll put him back in the 11th position.
And right in front of those guys is Dustin Dewar, holding up as many as he can. Still hanging on pretty well.
Yeah, hanging on to that ace spot at the moment, just to keep you update with the that playoff chase battle. Robert Hill Jr. riding in 26 right now, but again, with Dewar still falling back, that still leaves Hill in a pretty safe position at the moment.
Yeah, when Robert was in the lead, it was pretty bad for Hill, but we knew it wasn't going to last. We knew Dustin was going to fall back with the strategy he's trying. Right now, Robert, as you said, is safe. Just depends on how this race plays out. Oh, so they'll get dangerously close to the wall there on the front stretch.
and you gotta wonder too. I'm sure Dewar's in that race car right now, just hoping for a yellow as he's now fallen out of the top 10. Trying to stay within sequence here with the rest of the field, but you have run a lot more laps too. So if there was a caution for Dewar, you know, he might be mired back in that just outside the top 10. But as you said, he would still have another set behind pit wall, and that could pay off if it plays out just right for him. But right now, staying green couple battles here with Isabella and Rogers now for that 9th spot. Oh boy, things heating up. Back right in front, right behind Dustin Dewar.
Oh man, that is the hornet's nest right there.
They're all trying to get by Johnny Eckert. He's worked his way up in that 14th spot. He was just barely in that top 20 just a few laps ago, so he's working his way up through the field.
He's got a third-back winner there, fighting for what he can back there in the mid-pack.
Yeah, he's it looks like he's been in the hornet's nest so far since the restart began. Currently running, where is he at now? In the 18th position, but now Dewar on that outside just trying to hang on as everyone else.
Oh, they're gonna wreck in front of him!
Tepe goes towards the inside wall. Oh, and Westergreen.
They're all gonna, everybody else, and there's the caution.
And there was the caution that Dewar needed, but it was at the expense of two, not just one, two of his teammates. And it looked like it was almost between all three of them as they pushed kind of off the corner and led to that spin. We'll take a look at the replay here. Actually, no, Ray Bracey might have made contact with Tepe, but I think they're just trying to get around that 32 of Dewar and just kind of cause calamity corner out of turn 2. And some heavy inside wall contact for the 9 and the 96.
Just everybody, like we said about, it's that hornet's nest. Everybody in the same spot at the same time, going for the same positions.
Yep, and again, these guys being a little bit more aggressive. You know, maybe if we didn't have that caution and these guys were trying to save fuel, doing different strategies, it seemed like they're going as hard as they can to get what they can, and that's what it can lead to. Bracey doing a good job after that contact to the rear of his car, staying off of the walls there, so he should be good. Everyone coming down pit road. A few guys actually elected to stay out. I believe Alex Kenton in the 06, Kyle Carlson, Chris Jordan, Monticelli. I think those are the 4 cars that stay out.
Carlson and Monticelli, those are the 2 guys that were eliminated. So I guess this is going out with a bang, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you know you're eliminated. Why not? You know, you maybe even see if your second half strategy would pull it off. And you know, hey, Monticelli's sticking to his pre-race word so far, as we do have David Westergreen also. That was in the infield care center, and seeing that hard hit to the inside wall, and not the way you wanted to end the regular season, but at least you're locked in. What happened in that wreck there?
You know, I don't know. I gotta go back and look at it, but God, I was only back there because I was a dummy in race 1 and found myself getting on pit road. I got a top 10 car, just nothing you could do.
Yeah, and we kind of seen that from a lot of your you know, teammates out there, you know, the guys you're working with having trouble. We see Dewar off exit, Tate Lettle spinning off pit road. So kind of an unfortunate night, but again, not maybe the night you guys wanted to have here tonight, but at least for you, you got something to look forward to going into Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Watkins Glen, so...
Hey, you almost won there. Come on, man.
Yeah, you know, Watkins Glen's not the way you want to start the chase. I just, at this point, we're hoping to pick up, you know, some good runs at like Nashville and Bristol. I think I'll be able to run up front there, but had it right there where I wanted it in the first race, and yeah, it cost myself in this one. So that wreck was annoying. The pack back there was just insane. Everybody's running the top, and I got damage on the restart, so I couldn't actually get off the corners better than anybody. So I was just kind of stuck. And
yeah,
I envision that's how it all is for everyone there. So
yeah, it was kind of calamity back in the field there. But before we send you off, as we get ready to go back to green, any shout outs, and what's your shot you're calling for in the chase here?
One of us will win the championship. I'll call that. Maybe
Ooh.
Tate, but maybe Damian, if Damian can get up there. But the guys, Sad Racing, Fat Racing, they're great.
Calamity! Calamity! Big calamity!
Oh! This is going to be the big one on the restart. Carlson spins his tires on the restart and collects a majority of the front of the field. And that could make things interesting here.
Third
Wow.
slot Third Quist, Leininger, Lytle.
Oh, there goes my pick.
There goes my whole group there, but anyway.
Yeah. So,
Maybe we'll see them soon.
so I mean, at least most of your guys were locked in going into tonight. Oh, just getting the Chris Jordan hooks. Oh man.
Yeah, that is the worst possible outcome for fat racing right there. So took all three of the guys out.
I think Tate was able to get through there. I do believe. And
No.
that's one of the tricky things. You know, we've seen Dewar a little bit fresher tires when he stayed out early on in that going, able to hang on pretty good. But these guys maybe just a little bit too much
Oh man,
tire wear.
nothing. They got nothing on those tires after 20 laps. Yeah, I mean this is classic. Every time I see this happen in Atlanta, it results in this.
Yeah,
It's just the sad and fat guys: Adam, Damian, Dustin, Vince, Steve, Tate, Chad, Dusty, the whole team. Thank you. I managed to watch them all get wrecked.
Yeah, and again, just the great night you're having so far. But hopefully that luck turns around once the chase starts. And you know, we've been trying to keep track of you know, your teammate Dusty here, trying to see if he can somehow miraculously get in. Not looking good right now, but maybe he can make some noise now that no points are on the line.
He's got to win, so he's going for it, doing his best. But you know, I don't know if that helped him any.
Yeah, that might too quick of a caution. Just he took out too many cars in that one. Man, oh man. What a way as Austin Beer still holds on to that lead. Well, thanks David for joining us here, and best luck next week at Watkins Glen. And I still will say that was still probably one of the most exciting finishes ever at a road course that I've been in the booth for.
Yeah, you guys gotta go. You guys gotta go back and watch that one. Got a little net code with Johnny Eckert, and he did a full 360 and kept on going on the last lap there. So.
Was that last season, or was that 2 seasons ago? I can't remember now.
Last season. Yeah.
Last season. Okay, yeah.
I stayed up in fuel. I had no tires, no fuel. He had pitted, so he ran me down, and we were close on the last lap. But hey, you know, I don't expect to repeat that result. So. Yeah.
I'd like to point out all these cars crashing is beneficial for Robert Hill, who
I was waiting for my turn to cut in and say that.
No, go ahead. Yeah, please go.
No, Carlos is right. It works against Dustin. All those cars crash that lose laps and lose speed. It's just more guys that Robert doesn't even have to try to run in front of and gain points on Dustin. So it doesn't help Dustin.
Yeah, that will pretty much, again, the jab uphill battle that Dewar was trying to face here going into half number 2. But knowing Dusty, he will give 100% effort trying to get into the playoffs whatever way he can.
He's
even if that, still hold on to that 10th spot after.
Yeah, and Robert Hill is 13th, starting like this.
Robert could crash. Not that I wish anything bad on anyone, but it's
Robert
not over.
could crash, but look at all those cars already DNF'd. A 31-point lead. That's 31 spots.
There's 40 NFs.
Get back out there, Western.
How many cars do we have?
How
many cars do we have?
Some laps.
We have 35 cars, 4 of them DNF'd.
All right, see you, and best luck to you next week at Watkins Glen.
Come watch me and Carlos do OSCA on Mondays, and then tune back in next week for the playoffs.
Woohoo!
That's David Westergreen, locked into the chase. Fortunately, having a rough night here, rough go of it so far here tonight. As we're 1 lap to go to green. Austin Beers leading this race after, I believe, every guy that stayed on tires, I believe we're involved in that wreck. Maybe
they're gone.
I think the 06 of Kenton might have got through. He had to come down pit road and maybe thought like, I don't want to do that again.
Now, we may not have nobody on no tires, but not everybody in the top 5 is on 4 tires. Kynan Jones took right sides only on that pit stop. You see as they're running in 4th. We haven't seen 2 tires yet.
Yeah, and we never really got a chance to see how that played out for him. We'll see once we get going back to green. 15 laps to go. And I still believe they're arguing in the driver's
Oh,
chat
they are. They are.
about what happened, but they got to pull those straps tight one more time. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing to settle the regular season once and for all. Pace truck dives down pit road. Austin Beers in the lead. Looks like even him with that hardly any laps on the tires, spun the tires a little bit, but still got a good rocket launch on the start. And right now you see kind of Jones in that 73 with those two tires. That car's got to handle a whole bunch different. He's on the outside, holding on to that 6th spot right now. We'll see if he can hang on.
It's going to be loose, and I don't think he has a choice but to run anything up at the top of the track. He's not going to have enough. It's going to be too loose to run the bottom, but it could work out for him. Not a lot of laps left.
Yeah, 14 coming to 13 to go, hitting the stripe, and we'll see if your pick here, Kian, in that 75, going to the outside, see if he can get by that short track kid of Austin Beers.
All that smoke is from Kenton, who's gone out earlier.
Oh,
man. Kenton's out, and here we see a battle for the lead as Keen looks on the inside going into turn number 3. Is he going to get that run off? Looks like Beers on that high side will hold him off for now, but it is going to be a battle. These guys are driving it 100% right now. We'll see who can come out on top.
Vincent Isabella and Nick and Delicato right on top of each other. What?
Yeah, I was going to say, I just noticed that battle right before you started talking, and I believe they both got, a little post-race conversation after last week. These guys kind of having some run-ins together, but right now holding thing pretty clean. I think maybe that talk worked so far.
I know we're seeing a lot of pushing right now. Kian had a huge moment coming off 2 last time. He pushed all the way up the track, had to really, really back out of the gas to avoid contact with the wall. I don't think it was good for the right front tire, but he's still hanging in.
He's hanging in, but don't look now. Here comes Nick Indelicato in that 3rd position, coming to the inside of turn 3. Right now, we've seen him get it done, half number 1, and knowing Indelicato as well, he has that one of those other guys too that have that perfect balance of being able to run hard and also save those tires at the same time. As we're seeing that, I think, right now as he's into the top 3.
Yeah, he's brought Zach Rogers with him too. Zach ran about bottom half of the top 10. We didn't really see much of him in the top 5. He and Vincent both turned it up a little bit here in half 2.
Yeah, turned it up quite a bit. As right now they can't get away from each other at the moment. But even though they're battling side by side, Beers and Kian not really being able to pull away from these 3 cars that are battling for that 3rd spot. Nothing being settled right now except for Indelicato. This kind of single file out here a little bit. Seeing if they can maybe make another charge here. Adam Peeler in the 07, he's moved up. Strong run for him in that 6th position. He's moved in right behind Vincent Isabella at the moment.
Didn't Thomas Capuano spin to bring out the caution? He's 8th.
Yeah, see, he rebounded.
That is a dangerous game you are playing.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, I might have jinxed him is what Carlos is
Oh,
saying.
yeah, no kidding.
Cut the cameras, get away from him.
And
hey, they're passing Kian.
Kian must have had trouble. He dropped.
Oh, it was in the dog. It was in the quad oval.
Got in the wall? Did he?
Yeah, he did. What? That was weird. I can't tell what happened.
So yeah, obviously making his car off the pace. We just seen him in 2nd not too long ago. Already dropped back in the 8th position. He's trying to make a move on the outside for the lead.
If he can get his in-car, I think it might have been a mental error. It happens. I don't think anything caused him to lose control of his car. It might have just been a mental mistake. I think maybe he just expected to have more real estate.
Yeah, and realized he was close to that wall, and you see some damage on that in-car camera as now he's fallen back to 8th, and looks like Zach Evans is going to go to the inside. He's going to lose a couple more spots.
Yeah,
Johnny Eckert now getting back in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, that wasn't a light hit. That was Pancake. He's going to be suffering from that quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely looks like it's killed the speed on that car. So now that battle for the lead is going to be
battling
between
side by side.
19 and 7.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. These two
They've been
guys
hanging around each other.
Yeah, and obviously that's good news for Robert Hill, but maybe even just a pride thing for Dewar to see if he can finish ahead of him in this half. But right now he's got a mirror full of Robert Hill Jr. and he's got Zach Roethlisberger on his outside. Right now, again, coming into this race, you know, if we did math correctly, I believe we figured about, what, 31 points?
33 is the max you can earn. Oh, Capuano's around again. They just miss him.
Wow. That could have been bad. Both guys able to get by. Keep their chances alive as now we only have 4 to go as Capuano. I think maybe it's just something similar that Kian had from listening to the radio, and man, he just stuck to that wall.
Something electronic, it sounds like.
Yeah, just wow. Yeah.
He said over the voice channel that he left Discord and everything disconnected. I don't know what happened.
So maybe his
that's
computer kinda
happened
went
to
in
me
a
a couple
funky
times. It's weird where Discord will just like soft crash and restart. And what could have happened? Yeah, what could have happened is that while that was going on, it just pretty much caused like a frame stutter in iRacing, so he couldn't really see what he was doing and just overshot the corner. Because, you know, when that happens, the only thing you can do is guesstimate where the car's going to be. And if you really weren't expecting that and like the screen's freezing and the sound's going all wonky and everything's going slow, you're going to hit the wall.
I would say, Carlos, that was probably safe just between what Thomas said over the driver's chat and what we've seen happen on the racetrack. That's very plausible. We do see a couple cars coming down pit road. Vincent Isabella, Dustin Dewar, Dave Carpenter.
Now, remember what Dustin Dewar has that the rest of the field doesn't is a set of tires here.
And,
I mean,
it's his last swing for the fences that he has.
We've got 2 green-white checkers. I'm sorry, I believe I just cut you off. Mega time there.
No, I was done. Yeah, you were good.
That's all right. You're already fired.
Okay, good. There's not enough laps left to make this work for him. The only way this works is with the tire spin after we get laps on these tires. If they can get a restart crash, and if Robert Hill, being 10th, gets involved and Dustin Dewar somehow, I don't think it works. As a matter of fact, I think the only way this does work is if Robert Hill finishes 30th and he wins, because there's only 30 cars left in the race right now.
Yeah, and it's probably more of a desperation strategy for that 32, but something that, you know, again, with this few laps to go, you got to try to do something different. Obviously, those guys were running together when the caution came out. We're on them when Capuano did spin, so I had to do something different, trying a Hail Mary, see if it see how it works out. Probably not going to work out, but we'll see how it gets done. But we're going to see, I think, a heck of a battle to see who's going to win the final race of the regular season. We've seen Austin Beers, they were able to hold those guys off, but we've seen Indelcato and Rogers not that far behind. And, you know, it's okay to be biased. You know, we see Dale Jr. again in the booth every week. We even had Rawls up here. Was it last week?
That surprised me. Yeah, I was in another state than where I live, and I looked on my phone, and I was like, "What is he doing in there?"
Yeah, he joined us, and yeah, we had a pretty fun time. And he was a little bit worried about being biased as well, but you know, you see it so many times in real life. Ned Jarrett calling his son to a Daytona 500 win. Dale Jr. on a weekly basis once those races are on NBC on Saturdays. So, you know, we know who you're rooting for.
I mean, in a sense, because here's the thing. We are in a very tight team points battle right now. 2 of my cars in the top 5 works very well for us. However, Austin Beers blocked himself in half one. What better way to start your chase, your playoffs off by locking yourself in one half and winning the final half of the regular season. I kind of want to see that too. It could be happening on the restart here.
As we are getting the green flag, it is out. Barney's waving it in the air. As Beers holds on to the lead, and now Zach Rogers looks to the inside of Indelcato going into turn 1. See if he can make that pass, but that could be the best sight for Austin Beers in the lead. But now Indelcato is going to get a good run coming out of 2 as we're coming to the white flag lap. We'll see if that 7 car has anything for the 19. Coming to the white flag, here it comes. Getting closer on that back bumper is Indelcato. One more lap to go. The final time through 1 and 2. Beers goes to the outside. He's trying to get that good run off of 2, but here comes Indelcato on the inside. See if he can charge it up. Not going to be able to get that grip, but he's going to stay alongside of him, side by side down the backstretch. He's there trying to side draft. They're blocking. Beers up top. Indelcato on the bottom.
It's gonna be one of those
Side by
lap
side.
finishes.
Who's it gonna be?
Indelcato's
got it.
Oh,
Indelcato wins this race. Austin Beers second.
Wow.
Zach Rogers through Dustin Tour swinging for the fences. He hits the fence. He comes home in 15th. Wow. Robert Hill Jr. confirmed. Last one to make the chase. Came home in a strong run in 9th. Did what he had to do.
Yo, they're still wrecking.
And they're still wrecking.
Is Beers up? Was that Beers upside down there?
I don't know.
Wow, what a finish. And that was, as you called it out there, Matthew, one of these iconic Atlanta finishes. Oh, look at that. Oh, team photo.
It warms my heart.
Oh, man. Somewhere out there, Mohawk Foundation is smiling.
I'm sure he is.
And just that little bump, Beers was blocking. Fair game. We do have Beers here in the chat. We'll get him in just after we get a look at this replay. Beers tried this. I think it was about a half a car by the time they hit the line. Beers kind of getting that run. Oh, man, it was less than that.
I think he couldn't get it because of Indelcato sending him up the track. He had to gather it up first and could not get that drive off, and that's why Indelcato was able to draw even.
Wow, and with shades of 2000 Dale Earnhardt versus Bobby Labonte, Jeff Gordon versus Harvick, Indelcato gets the win over Austin Beers to close out the regular season. And while he's doing the burnouts there, he can get that broom out as he pulled the sweep here tonight. And there's the finish. Carlos got it right at the line. And there it is. And we'll get the reaction here from Austin Beers, who had that lead on the white flag lap and just coming short, as you see it on our screen there. And Austin, man, it was good hard racing there to battle for that victory, but just came out short. But hey, man, you're in the chase.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna win a race, Goody. I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
Last week I gave Tate the top. This time I kind of protected the top in 1 and 2, and then the bottom's kind of a little better through 3 and 4. So I try to get there, and he was still kind of there. Damn it!
But hey, I mean, you know, you come so close. You know you have that pace to win. You're looking in the playoffs, and as disappointing as it is that you didn't end up in victory lane here tonight, that's got to be some pretty good momentum carry forward as we go to Watkins Glen next week.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good top 5 streak going. I think the past couple of races. You probably won't see me in the broadcast at all next week when I'll be 23rd, a lap down. But no, it's been going good. I'm just I want to win. I'm tired of getting second on the last lap every week. So, but you know, it was good hard racing, fun racing with Nick there.
Yeah, maybe you'll catch the bouquet and then you'll be the bride instead of the bridesmaid. You know, it's bound to happen.
Hopefully. I'll tell you what though, I'm more nervous for these iRacing restarts than I am for any real life restart ever. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. Like I can hear my heart pounding for these iRacing restarts, and I'm like, it's crazy. I don't understand it.
So I'm assuming you're talking about when those guys stayed out on about 20 lap older tires, and how'd you get through that one?
Well, I mean, they all wrecked and they went up, and I was on the bottom, thankfully. So. I tried to warn them because I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, guys, your tires are gonna spin, so just ease into it. And I told Chris that, and he actually did a pretty decent job, and then got right reared. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and again, a good solid night going into the playoffs. You know, you don't have the best outlook, as you said earlier, going into next week at Watkins Glen, but you know, just looking at some of the schedule for through the rest of it, you got Dover, you got Charlotte, you got Bristol, and Nashville. What can we expect from you going into the chase now?
There's some short tracks there, so I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah,
I'm just setting my expectations low for Watkins Glen, so I can maybe surprise myself next week.
We'll see. That's why you're called the short track kid. You're not called the road course kid.
Pretty much, yeah.
With that, Matthew, you got anything for Austin here?
Man, I wanted you to win. I mean, look, Nick and Delicato and Zachary Rogers, those guys are my team cars. But I was like, man, I want to see Austin Beers. It's Austin. I want to see Austin Beers win the race because it would have been cool. But you're going to be here rest of the season. You've got a championship to go race for now. Still going to be looking for race wins. How do you approach it now? Because, you know, you had a really good night, some positive momentum going into that chase. It's going to be the same plan every week, right?
Yep. Just keep going for wins. You know, just keep trying to be consistent. Next week it's just going to be try to finish each race, but after that we're just going to go for wins and you know, hopefully be a good points racer.
Yeah, we'll see if you can get done. But yeah, I don't think generally your strategy doesn't change. It's always like you're still back at those short tracks, giving it your all 100% of the time. And it's always fun to watch. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see you break through and get into victory lane. But before we send you off to get ready for these for the chase next week, any shout outs you want to give?
You guys, Beers Motorsports, everybody from there, and Vic for putting us up with us. Also, one more thing. Goody, did you see me save tires tonight? That's surprising, right? Did you I saved my tires a little bit.
Oh.
I was like, man, if anyone out there is not going to do it, I thought it was you, but you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, clean
I'm
air
impressed.
was key. Clean air was huge tonight, and that's why I kind of like, I let Kean get to the bottom, and I just kind of like pinch him to make him use his right front up a little bit. And then, you know, just the clean air was huge, so I just wanted to kind of stay out front there at the end. And I looked down, and it was lap 30 to 41. I'm like, oh my God, we're almost at the end. And I was still out front. I was pretty shocked. And so, yeah, just a shout out to you guys. Matthew, you do a great job with the, you know, asking us questions before the race. Goody, as always, great commentator. Carlos, great job on the editing and all that. So, and then, you know, thanks to Beers Motorsports and Vic.
All right, yeah. Thank you. And best of luck to you once you get in the chase. And I think it's only going to be a matter of time when we're not going to talk to you as the bridesmaid. We'll talk to you as a bride and celebrate with you in victory lane.
I hope so. I'm gonna come into the broadcast screaming.
I'll be waiting and ready for it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see ya.
Yeah.
Austin Beers coming home in second. Before we do get to our race winner, we will get the guy who finished third, and that's his teammate Zach Rogers in the 29. And Zach, pretty good run. It looked like he had some pretty decent pace there to maybe even have a shot at getting the win here in half number two. Still coming home with a solid third place finish. What was your kind of view of that battle last lap?
That was fun. I thought I knew Nick was faster than me throughout the later half of that race, so I was just trying to help him out, but I saw them get the battling on the inside, and I thought for a split second maybe I can push this 3 wide and pick something up, but coming off of that corner I just didn't have enough, so I dropped in behind him and tried to give him as much of a push as I could and make sure he got it, and it worked out.
Yeah, it led to a very exciting finish once again for your teammate. But again, a solid night, you know, for you finishing sixth in half number one, third here in half number two. And again, you know, as far as your own personal, you know, in the driver's standings, you kind of joined late. Weren't really able to get in the mix of things. But as far as your team, Shift Esports, it was a pretty good night overall.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's pretty much all I'm racing for right now, is to help them out and make sure they get it, and hopefully next season we can go for a little more.
So again, just with that kind of mindset, are you just going out there trying to get victories or trying to do the best you can? Next week, Watkins Glen. Just kind of give what's your focus? What's your mindset going into the final stages of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always here to win. I understand that that's a chase race for all these guys, and I'm not doing anything to interfere with that. But within my means, we're all here to win, and that's what I'm here to do. And yeah, Watkins Glen will be fun. I did pretty well at Montreal. I enjoy the road courses and stock cars, so hopefully we can get some more results there.
And hopefully results will come indeed. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matthew, see if your teammate here has got any questions for you. Matthew.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry. I was muted. I was muted. No, I mean, I'll never show it externally if my team has a bad night when you have a good night. But it makes it a lot easier for me to hold myself to keep my composure if you guys do good on the racetrack. It was a lot of fun watching you guys tonight. Although, I guess one thing is you started 17th in that first half. You're able to get yourself up to 6th. Do you think that starting spot had a huge difference? You had to use up a lot more tire that half, and maybe because of the fact that you were able to actually start in the top 10 in that second half, that made you much more of a factor for the win because you didn't have to waste everything getting through the field.
Yeah, I didn't mind it because it kind of helped me gauge how much to push throughout the race, and I felt like I was pushing just enough to where I could get up there without really burning anything up. And yeah, I'm not totally comfortable with the Xfinity car yet. I haven't really driven it a whole lot, so I'm slowly picking it up, and I think tonight kind of helped show that for me. It gave me a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, I think those two runs here tonight definitely gives you a confidence boost. But before we send you off and let you celebrate that awesome run here tonight, and maybe you can go celebrate with your teammate, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to the team sponsors, Mohawk Foundation. They've been awesome. They're doing a whole lot around the community. They're awesome guys. Seth Rawls Designs for painting these beautiful cars. Our throwback cars last week were killer, and even our cars every week I think are really nice looking. And personally, Crew Chiefs Corner, they've kind of helped sponsor me for a few leagues now, and they jumped on for this one, and they're really nice too. Anybody needs any NASCAR news or a podcast to listen to, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, Crew Chiefs Corner podcast, they're a good listen, and awesome guys to support, so go check them out.
Hey, that's something I might have to check out myself. Indeed. Yeah, see? And yeah, go check them out there if you're listening here at home or wherever you're watching here, 3Y TV. But again, thanks for talking with us, Zach. We'll hopefully we'll talk to you some more here as the season winds down, and maybe even in Victory Lane.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Yep, you bet. Zach Rogers coming home in the third, pushing his teammate to the victory. And that leads us to our final interview here of the night, and that's Nick and Delgado. And man, you weren't short of having dramatic wins here tonight, but you're able to pull off that sweep.
Yeah, no, that was cool. It was one of those classic Atlanta finishes, as they would say.
And actually, you know who said it? Your teammate, your Matthew, said it as it was happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say. To be honest with you, when I was going through 3 and 4 with him, I was thinking the same thing. But yeah, that was again a fun race. There wasn't. There was the restart wreck. I haven't seen a replay of that yet, but I snuck through that. I do not know how. Kind of saw it coming, but I mean, other than that, there was a lot of clean racing. Some people had some mistakes, but at the end there, capitalized on the yellow, and just made the move.
Yeah, made the move indeed. And so I got to ask you, did you feel more like 2000 Dale Earnhardt or 2001 Kevin Harvick there coming to the line?
Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, you got to go Dale Earnhardt.
Well, he got into him a little bit. He had to move the track a little bit.
So my thinking was, I got off 2, and to be honest with you, what I noticed is if you run high all the way against the wall, all the way through 1 and 2, it seemed like you're just, for some reason, at a disadvantage coming off the corner. So I cut it down to like the middle lane and tried to get the runoff 2, which I did, but I didn't. I thought I was side by side going into 3, and my thinking was to make a Carl Edwards video game move there. If I did get side by side and slide job as hard as I could. But you know, I thought I was under him. He kept coming down, and chopped him a little bit. He didn't get sideways. I thought it was going to turn him, to be honest with you. But then I got into him a little bit after that, and it shoved him up the track. It was clean for what it was, but that's NASCAR at that point.
Yeah, I thought that was the perfect balance of aggressiveness and clean. You know, he blocked, you didn't back off. That's I think what NASCAR is all about, and you were still able to keep it clean and come home side by side. And of course, you're able to get the victory. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matthew, see if he has any questions for you.
Yeah, I think there was a moment there that I would have loved to have been a part of. You guys had your 4-wide parade lap at the end of the race, and I was like, that's cool. And then I looked at the results. You won. Zach got third. You completed that sweep. Dallas got a top 10, and Robert, en route to locking himself into the playoffs, got a top 10. What was the party in there like? Because I was like, man, that had to have been electric. I kind of sometimes there are moments where I wish I could have been in the voice chats for it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, that was amazing. Just having everybody there at the same time and getting the finishes we did tonight was, I mean, it just that's what the team aspect's about, and that's what I love. And it's hard to come by that. It's no doubt very hard to do, and everybody had a clean race tonight for what it was, and Zach did a hell of a job. I mean, Zach did an amazing job. Robert did an amazing job. Dallas stuck in it, as he always does. They're as good as they come, and it was a ton of fun, and it was pretty cool to have a teammate there at the end, almost side by side.
Yeah, it was a wild finish indeed. Yeah, able to get a good overall team night here, and again, you know, you're another one that's kind of racing more for the team points aspect of it. So, you know, it's probably a question I don't have to ask because I think we all already know the answer. You're going to go out there trying to pick up 4 more wins as we wind out the season, or however many more wins races we got left. 5.
I don't know how many we have left, but all I know is we're gonna try to win as many of them as possible. That's what I'm here for, and to be honest with you, that's what I love doing. Just going all out when you can. Obviously, I get myself in trouble here and there, but you're not doing it right if you're not being aggressive. So, I mean, other than that, going for as many wins as I can. I really want that team championship. I think the rookie of the year is almost, I wouldn't say locked for me, but if I keep running the way I am, it's gonna look good. So. Come here each and every week and try to get a win, even though it is the chase.
Yeah, so, you know, next week going into Watkins Glen, we've seen you pull out or be part of battles of some of the best road course racing we've seen here on 3Wide TV. Are we going to expect maybe a little bit more of the same going into Watkins Glen?
No doubt. It's a home race track for me. I absolutely adore that track. I have not done a official or a league race on the new surface yet, so that's going to be a little weird, but I mean, there's nothing new really. I understand how to drive the Glen. I feel like I'm up there with everybody, obviously, in the road courses, and if not better than most people at certain times. Wish I could have gotten a win at, what was it? Circuit Gilles Villeneuve or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Montreal. That was pretty good.
Montreal
hey, that was pretty good.
For my American.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
But yeah, wish I could have gotten a win there. I had damage bold races, but I came from the back in one of them, and it is what it is. But Watkins Glen should be a ton of fun, and the goal every week. I always say this. I tell this to everybody, all the teammates. Goal is top 5. Goal is always top 5, top 5, top 10. Get solid finishes.
Yeah, and able to get it done more often than not in that 7 machine. But before we send you off, go let you celebrate with the teammates after awesome run here tonight, and you've done it before already, but any more shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, once again, if anybody's listening out there, go check out Seth Rawls. The winning paint scheme. He makes great paint schemes for iRacing. Any designs you need, logos, backgrounds, whatever it is, go check him out. Once again, Shift Esports. Follow us on Twitter. Look us up. Also look up the Mohawk Foundation. The reason our cars are pink, it's for a great cause, and they're a great organization. So follow them on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. And if you ever need a design, go check out Seth Rawls.
Yes, check Seth out indeed, and still has some of those throwbacks. Your regular paint schemes always very beautiful. But with that, congratulations here. Hope you got your broom out, you swept up there a little bit here tonight, and we'll see what you can do next week at the Glen.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You guys have a good night. Once again, thank you again for the broadcast.
You're welcome. Yep. Have a good night. Nick Indelcato coming home 2 wins here today. And he gives himself pretty good momentum for that Rookie of the Year competition. But Matt, before we do get off, I do want to get that reaction from Robert Hill. So we'll bring him in quick.
I saw him in there.
Yeah,
I know he's got something to say.
Yeah, I see Monticelli in there as well, a couple other guys. We got to wrap it up. Carlos is going to yell at us here soon. But we do have to get this emotion here from Robert Hill. Uh-oh. Carlos, come on. Boo.
Just a word from Robert. Just a word from Robert.
Just a word from Robert. Coming into tonight, you were the one that was kind of on the bubble, and that battle with Dewar. You guys were both playing different strategies all night long, but you're able to come out on top, lock that last chase spot. And how does it feel, man?
It feels really good to lock our Mohawk Foundation Mustang in for Shift Esports. These guys have done a lot for me this season, and I'm really glad that I'm able to pay that back by grabbing a playoff spot. Like you said, it was a tough night trying to keep up with Dusty, and first race I was going so slow and just trying to save gas. I ran out off turn 2 right after the flag, and I guess it worked out. We made it. We gave ourselves a bit of a buffer, and then I was just able to match Dusty there in race 2 and just try to stay with him because I knew he had to win, and if I could just stay with him and kind of be a pest, then that's what I had to do.
Yeah, and you did everything masterfully here tonight to lock yourself in. And now that you're in the chase, what's your outlook? Again, Watkins Glen next week, and I think 4 more races after that. So what's kind of your strategy now that you're in?
Yeah, it's an interesting chase schedule. We got Watkins Glen, Dover, Charlotte, Bristol, and then the Nashville Superspeedway. So it's a bit of everything. We just really have to capitalize at the places that we're decent at and just try to survive at the races that we might not be so great. Like next week, really top 15. If we can get 2 top 15s, I'll be happy at Watkins Glen, and then just kind of dig a little bit more for some top 10s at Dover, Charlotte, and Bristol, and then Nashville. Who knows what's going to happen at Nashville? The intensity is going to be high, and we got to be ready to match it.
Yeah, it looks like you've already got some experience, so you might have a leg up on the competition, though the intensity that you had to come into tonight with, and able to get it done. But as I've done, for your 2 other teammates, Matt, do you have any questions for Robert? I think he's muted again.
Yeah, I am muted again. No, I'm all good. Good job, Robert.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to Shift Esports. Thanks to Mohawk Foundation, and thanks to you guys for putting on these broadcasts every week.
Yeah, thank you, and best of luck to you moving on from the chase. Go out there and make some noise, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Robert Hill Jr. doing what he had to do to get into that chase position, and he got it done here tonight. And with that, we'll kind of wind it down here, wrap things up here from Atlanta. But before we do, Matthew, any final words as we close the regular season?
Man, get ready for this playoffs, because the one thing that stands out to me the most in both halves of the top 6 finishers, 3 of them do not run full time. That's Nick Indelcato, Zachary Rogers, and Keegan Riley. And Blake Barney finished top 10 both halves and does not race every week. It's going to be interesting. A topic you always have is non-chase guys racing chase guys. It's going to be fun. You're going to see some sparks fly.
Get your popcorn ready indeed, and tune in next week right here on 3Y TV as we head to the Glen. Be sure to check it out. It's going to be a fun one indeed. But with that, for Carlos, for Matt, I'm Michael. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's race. I didn't win the throwback contest, and I'm mad 126. And we'll see you next week, right here, same time next week at the Glen. Until then, good night now.